Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Shot Tuesday. It's Barry Nixon along with Jason Riley, the one and only, as we bring you another week of fun conversation. And remember, we are the podcast you can listen to on your break at work, and we encourage you to do so. Jay, it's great to see you, brother.
It's so great to see you as well, Barry. We got an action-packed show. Lots of updates, things we're going to get to.
Many.
I think our listeners and our viewers are really going to like this one. You know how we started off? We always started off with a shot. And Barry, if you'll indulge me for this one.
Sure. I'm going non-alcoholic this time, Jay, because I'm getting a workout in immediately following this recording session. So I'm having a little pre-workout from our good friends at Ghost.
Yep, absolutely. And I am alongside with you, supporting you with what was a Summerhill Easy Green, but has now been filled up with an orange squeezy from Kool-Aid. Before we take our shot, let me just send this cheers. About not quite 2 weeks ago, we said goodbye at the mini mansion to the true owner of the mini mansion, our dog London. London was particularly fond of you. I vividly remember one time you came to visit. You were wearing sweatpant-like attire, sweatpants that you would go out in and be proud to go out in. And London, who just came in from a fresh walk in the rain with executive producer Aldo Roma, ran up to you and put those paws right on those sweatpants. And what did we learn?
We learned that if you pay up for quality, those paw prints come right off with a wet cloth. And that's exactly what they did. No harm, no foul. Rest in peace, London.
And he was your smoking buddy. You'd occasionally take him out, and he enjoyed a little doob with Uncle Barry.
He sure did. And I hope wherever he is, he's enjoying many a super from someone who's not me. But one day we will meet again.
Absolutely. And he didn't drink either. So nice to have a non-alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Cheers to London.
To London. Cheers.
All right.
Delicious.
Barry, why don't you take our viewers and our listeners on this exciting trip that you just came back from? What happened?
Okay. Thank you, Jay. Great setup.
Great setup.
My missus and I, executive producer Linda LeBrun, we were fortunate enough to go to ACL, which is the Austin City Limits Music Festival, weekend number 1. The time of this recording, it was wrapped up yesterday, or a day before yesterday. And it was an absolutely frictionless experience. Why do I say frictionless?
Yeah. Why?
From the picking up of the wristband to the getting into the park, to the access to the VIP, to not having to wait in line virtually at all. And if we did, it was like count to 10 and it's over.
Nice.
It was incredible. It felt, Linda said that this was a very adult run experience versus Governor's Ball. It felt a little more chaotic, although it was still great.
Yeah. And VIP.
This one, and a VIP.
Both VIP. Okay. Yeah.
Very different VIPs though. Whereas Governor's Ball had part of the stage like sectioned off. We didn't have that at ACL. We were on these giant like grandstands. They were completely shaded, had seats. There was benches and like sort of like half bars you could rest your drink on. It was unbelievable.
You like to be able to rest your drink while you're enjoying your show. I know that. You brought that up with Rob Peets a few times. You could set things down. You like a place to set things down.
I do, because we're civilized men. You and I, Jay, and I think you also appreciate this. So
I do. I don't
like
my
wife.
A drink just sweating in your hand, and I don't enjoy that. I like to be able to set it down and know that it's got a sturdy place to rest close by.
Exactly. Anyway, right behind the grandstands was all the VIP amenities. Your food, your restroom, your bar, your shaded loungers.
Really?
Comfortable seating, couches. They even had an outdoor TV that was showing the games on NFL Sunday and college football on Saturday. Like, this is Texas, right? So this is all part of their lifeblood, is certainly football.
Yeah.
The whole experience was incredible. And I haven't even got to the part about the performances. Like, the Strokes, that was the main reason for the trip. They absolutely killed it, despite what, I understand there's been some not so flattering remarks online about their performance.
Why?
I was there. Take it from me. I don't know. These are haters, and it's probably bots from overseas. Who knows if they're even real? But I can tell you, as a real person, it could be. That's a thing.
Is it? Yeah.
But you can take it from me, Jay. I was
Okay.
there in person. I witnessed it. There was one moment, though, that I thought was funny. Julian Casablancas, the lead singer, is known to be a little cantankerous at times. And at one point during the show, he did yell at the drones that were circling overhead to give people the sort of overhead crowd experience. It would be shot up on the screens beside him. He did yell at the drones,
He
but it
did.
apparently they were bugging his eyes. He was also wearing sunglasses, and it was the dead of night. So who knows? Maybe that's what people were picking up on, that he seemed like he wasn't happy to be there. That's not the vibe I got. He was just calling out some drones,
And
which was
here's
kind
the
of funny.
thing. So that explains the anti-strokes bots because, you know,
I
you
think
start yelling
so.
at the drones, they're connected to the bots and they start putting the hate out
Yeah,
online. So I see it all, it's all cause and effect. I'm
I
glad to
agree.
hear the Strokes was amazing for you and you enjoyed it. And I would always
I
take your
loved it.
opinion over virtually anyone else on the planet Earth. So
Wow.
it's
Thank you, Jay.
gold. It's gold when you say it. I do want to pause a moment and let's go back
Hmm.
to something you mentioned, the VIP section food. Can you please let our viewers and listeners and myself know what's on
Yes.
offer?
Oh man, there was all kinds of stuff that you would approve of. Chief among them would be your slices of pizza.
Love
They
it.
had mozzarella sticks that were gorgeous, like one bite and the string cheese. It was just
Nice.
perfectly done. The pizza was great. We also had hot dogs. We had burgers. Like we just kept it simple, and we also had some chicken tenders, which I also know you're
Mm,
a fan of. Jay, this had everything you want and nothing you don't.
nice. Were there giant
Yeah.
pretzels? I could feel there would be at this place.
There may have been, I didn't jump out at me, but they
Okay.
did have giant cans of Miller Lite, the 24-ounce cans.
You like that?
It was incredible. And of course, we had to get a couple of commemorative koozies because, like you said,
Yeah.
civilized people don't want your can sweating. By the way, it was like 90 degrees every day
Yeah, I believe
of the
it.
festival. It was hot as hell, and there was barely any wind. So it was just like that heat. You just have to live inside. So anyway, the koozies came in handy. Otherwise, we would have been dropping our 24-ounce cans all over the place. And that's just not a good look for anybody.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So
yeah.
what was other than the Strokes, who else or
Mhm.
what else was a standout at the festival?
Man, there's a band called Wet Leg,
Wet
and
leg.
they're from England. And I'd heard about these guys from friend of ours, friend of the show, DJ Teenage Werewolf. Apparently, they were at the Phoenix a couple years ago. Didn't see them then, but they were on one of the main stages around 4:30, so kind of like the third band before the big act. They were great. We also saw T-Pain.
T-Pain.
T-Pain was amazing. He like played an entire like probably hour 15. It was great. And he was zipping through the songs. He had the
Yeah.
crowd going insane. I've never seen so many people dancing and moving. Like I showed you that short video just to kind of capture the
Yeah.
scale of this festival. So
Incredible.
imagine all those people all kind of swaying together. That's what was happening when T-Pain took the stage. He was great. And then of course the Killers. I mean, I'm still thinking about it. Their set was lights out. They were the perfect closers for the festival. They were the Sunday night, sending everyone home happy, and they did. There were parts where it was just one gigantic sing along. Everyone knows the words to like their most famous songs. I know you
Yeah.
know them as well.
Yeah.
And they played all the hits. There was not one that I was like, I don't think I've heard this one before.
Did they close or
So
open with Mr. Brightside?
that was like towards the end.
Not even an
Yeah.
end.
It was like,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Maybe because that was probably too much of a sing along to end on. Because I would imagine everybody would be singing to that one. Because everybody
Everyone
knows that
was.
song. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
And they also played a song, a relatively new single, maybe from like the last year, a song I really like, and I was saying to Linda, I hope they play it. It's called Caution, and that was like the third song they came out with. And I was like, oh man, they're hitting. Basically, all the boxes were ticked for me. I was thrilled, and so was
Nice.
Linda. It
So
was
you'll do it
really,
again.
really fantastic. We'll do another festival in the US. I don't know we'd redo ACL. We will go back to Austin though and do a comedy trip and see go to Joe Rogan's Comedy Mothership and see some stand up 100%. Austin itself is beautiful. You have been there. Now I've seen a little bit of what you saw. We took a walk around the downtown before we went to day 2 to kind of familiarize ourselves with the place, and I got to tell you, I don't know whether this was your experience as well, but every person that we came in contact with was beyond nice and welcoming. Even when we were leaving, when we were flying home, the airport security actually said, "Good morning, how you doing?" Not just passport, like the kind of bullshit you get at Pearson. We
Yeah.
didn't get any of that. Any of it. It
Nice.
was like, and Linda and I were both like, even the border guards, here in Texas were friendly as heck. It was just wonderful.
Yeah.
Really nice.
You can get barbecue at the airport, which is so nice because it's everywhere in Austin, Texas.
Yes, it is. And we did
Yeah.
try some barbecue. I had a brisket and a potato salad on our way to the final day of the concert, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Could I
Good.
tell it was Texas? I don't know. It was my first experience. Like, other than it being cooked in the state, I don't know what made it Texas, to be quite honest.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll find that out in a future trip.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, that's a quick Google search. That's no big deal.
That's incredible. Barry, I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that your music festival days will continue because that's
Hell yeah.
exciting to me and to all of our audience who I'm sure is going to want to. Maybe one day you'll organize a 2-shot tour and you'll head down to a music festival. We'll have
something.
some of the audience come and it'll be great.
Sure.
All right.
That sounds totally manageable.
Yeah, we got to fit this in on people's breaks. So that means we got to go to shot number 2. And I'm going to keep it non-alcoholic again with my orange. This is orange Kool-Aid, to be specific. If you've got a little bottle at home, empty, you fill it up with some squeezy, you put some water, you shake it, and it's ready to go. What have you got, Barry?
There you go. I'm sticking with the pre-workout, Jay, because I got a big lift, a sorely needed one after 3 days of debauchery under the Texas sun. So here's to you.
Cheers. And you.
All right, so catch me up on what you've been doing.
Well, let me tell you about something that arrived at the mini mansion not too long ago. I'm going to hold it up. You know about it, and I'm going to let our audience know. It is the Nightmare on Elm Street 7-film 4K set. Now, I got the first movie on your recommendation when it came down to a really cheap price, and we knew that part 2 was coming out in time for Halloween. I don't think anybody suspected was that you were going to get all 7 films in a set. And there's also a steelbook version that's a lot of money that I wasn't interested in paying that much money for. But I am happy to say that in this set, you also get the commemorative 3D glasses that were available at the theater for Freddy's Dead, because there was a portion of the Freddy's Dead Final Nightmare where it was actually in 3D. And if you can believe it, I actually have my original 3D glasses from the movie that I keep in a comic book. So I have a 3D comic book, and I have my Freddy's Dead glasses that I had at the theater there. Because at that time, the 3D that was available was the blue and red, kind of the cheap 3D that they did. Anyway, I have watched most of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. I put that in last night. I'll put the rest in tonight when we're done with the show. And I have to tell you, I was expecting it to be good quality, but I thought they were going to pour all of the energy of their 4K into the first one and then kind of, halo it through and go, oh, yeah, the other ones were also pretty good. No. This is the best you have ever seen a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Super crisp. The sounds are coming from all around you. It's not an Atmos track, but it's a 5.1 enhanced track, and it looks incredible. It's just crystal clear. You can't believe this thing was shot in 1980. I'm forgetting the exact year now. 4, 5. I'm not exactly
right,
sure.
Or maybe even 2. Who knows?
Yeah, it might have been earlier than that. Yeah, but it was really good. And from being about halfway through the movie, I can tell you that, they made the comment that this was the most homoerotic of all the 1980s horror films. And it's living up to of all time. And it's living up to its hype because there's a lot of that going on. So within the confines of, it's interesting because you would still get, non-gay people that would go see this because it was the sequel to this hugely popular movie that took off, and you want them to be able to come in and go out and go, what did I just watch? And they would be they'd probably go, yeah, there was a lot of dudes' asses in this movie. And they would be right. And it was interesting that I was telling you, I hadn't seen this thing in years and years, and it resonated with me when I was young going, I really like this installment. And now, Barry, I can tell you I understand.
Yes. Did you make it all the way to the shower sequence? Because that's where you get to see all those butts.
I did, yes. That's a bit of a S&M kind of shower thing where the coaches, first he runs into the lead actor. The lead actor kind of stumbles out of his house and ends up in a S&M club where the gym teacher is frequenting in his S&M outfit. And then the gym teacher makes him run laps at the high school and then makes him hit the shower. And then the gym teacher is dragged into the shower by Freddy with skipping rope, and he's all tied up in the shower. So so there's a whole subtext going on there.
I didn't remember that last part.
No,
Didn't remember that, the whole getting tied up thing, but
it's all
that
there.
does
It's all
sound
there for you.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, I'm looking
yeah.
forward to seeing it. Is there any grain, or is that been scrubbed, or is it you still get enough grain to know
Just
that it's
enough.
film?
Just enough.
Nice. Yeah.
And what I find where it works the best is when the grain is on like the skin tone. So you know it's a movie, but then like Freddy's sweater just pops. There's like no grain there. There's no yes, you get like a bit of that grain where you need it. But it is really cleared up and it's really quite an impressive movie just visually to look at. And I can't wait to now get to the Dream Warriors. And what I was
Yeah.
thinking when you do come over, I may add because you can buy plastic versions of those 3D glasses. If I get like some nice comfortable plastic versions, maybe we do a Freddy's Dead as one of your ones you watch and we'll pop on those 3D glasses at the same time.
Yeah, I'd be up for that, dude.
See?
I do remember that. That's so funny. And when you said, "Can you believe I have the original?" Yes, of course I can believe that you would hold on to something like that. Of course. Now, is Tom Arnold in that? Am I misremembering? Does he pop up in this thing?
Not in that one.
And Freddy's dead? No? Okay.
Maybe Freddy's Dead. I'm not sure. I'm only on part 2 and I really can't remember. I'm not surprised if he does. I think he is in one of them as a cameo appearance.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp also, I think, pops up in Freddy's Dead because he was in the first movie, right?
He was, yeah. I can't remember I can't remember any of these movies really. I vaguely remember Dream Warriors because I saw it so many times and it was just so cool. It was very comic booky where they all have certain powers when they're dreaming, which was a really
That's right.
That was what kind of launched the franchise into the stratosphere because this feels very much Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 feels very much like a sequel to the first made for less money. You can just tell there's less money involved and it was in 3 that they really ramped it back up.
And also 3, I think, also brought the world Patricia Arquette. I think that was maybe her first film.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I think it was.
Yeah, she definitely had a career after that. That's very cool, man. I'm very excited. And 100%. If you want to set up a time, it's spooky October. We should definitely get a screening of one of those 7. Because I know, you're working on 2. 3 is going to be a while.
It will be.
For you to get
It will be. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I'll get there. Barry.
Okay. Well, that's amazing. Great update. Do you have anything else you want to share with our listeners, Jay? Or?
I think, I'm just looking at the clock on the wall, and I think that's kind of our time. I did have one other thing. I'm going to save it for next time. We are actually coming up rapidly on our final episode of the season, and that is going to be our debrief of the Whiskey Global event that we talked about a couple episodes ago. That's exciting. And then season 6 doesn't end after season 5, folks. We've been renewed. We're heading into season 6.
It's so great when we're in charge of it. We can just keep renewing forever, and we will.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Jay, thank you very much for all your thoughts on Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. I'm excited to, for you to get to the end and then tell me how it sits as a complete film. Because right now you've only gotten up to the shower scene.
Yeah.
But we know there's more.
Yeah. I'll let you know. Anyway,
that sounds
Barry,
good.
Always good to chat with you. Listeners, viewers, thank you so much for tuning in as you do each and every week. Next week, we already teased it. We've got the movie guy, Rob Peets, is back. You guys are going to check out Tron Ares. So he'll be on the show to talk about that. And have a great week. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. Barry.
Awesome.
Have a great night. Have a great workout.
Thanks, Jay. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Two Shot Tuesday. The show is produced by Barry and I and edited by me. If you have yet to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, please take a second to do so now. It helps us grow, and it helps new audiences to find the show. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Two Shot Tuesday, and on Twitter at Two Shot Tuesday Podcast. Stop by, give us a follow, leave us a comment, and share your favorite episodes. If you have a question you'd like featured on the show, you can send us a text at 647-486-4848. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.